Sometimes we do enjoy picking on animals, but it's all fun and games till they turn on us. You better know which animal to pick on, because some of them will just make you smoke weed for the rest of your life. Yeah, better not underestimate these animals, because they also come from the hood, and they know everything about being gangsters more than you'll ever do. You know, in case you think you can challenge them. Well, I'd start to start with the cutest one. The honey badger. Don't let its cute appearance deceive you. Yeah, I'm not playing. I really mean it. Despite its size, this guy can rip you and your dog at once. To put a sample on the table,
They're the largest terrestrial mustelids in Africa.
males weigh up to 35 pounds. That's roughly as much as an American pit bull. More accurately, it's as much as a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. But let's talk about some real facts about this guy. If you do find a honey badger out there, just pretend you didn't see it and keep moving to wherever you were going. Unless you want to solve your personal problems with it as well. If this animal feels threatened, it will attack. Honey badgers hold a grudge against anything that pisses them off. Yeah, and I mean literally anything. If you're still thinking these guys are a joke, they face off threats that you wouldn't survive if you were to face. Let's say you're on a peaceful day having a lunch break in your garden, and out of nowhere a 700-pound bear shows up and decides to ruin your dinner party. What would you do? Flee or fight back? Well, if you were a honey badger, you'd give the bear a run for its money. Honey badgers never give away their food that easily without a fight.
If you know Captain America, you know what I'm talking about.
I could do this all day.
For honey badgers, facing wild dogs, jackals, hyenas, and lions is like having a breakfast. Although against some of these predators, they are just no match. However, killing a honey badger is no pushover,
Because they have a very thick skin, in fact thicker than almost any other animal apart from giraffes, elephants, and rhinos.
For you to get the idea, they can take a full blow from a machete without necessarily cutting all the way through the skin.
they can take porcupine quills like nothing. These dudes are literally mini tanks. Pound for pound against any other predator, honey badgers would have no rivals.
They're just an Avenger level threat.
So you might want to think twice before pissing off a honey badger. The next guy on the list is honey badger's cousin.
The Wolverine.
They brought this animal to Marvel for a reason.
They're the largest members of the Mustelidae family.
Well, just on land. They're known to have a reputation for ferocity and strength out of proportion for its size. They have a documented ability to take down prey many times bigger than itself.
That includes reindeers. Think about it. Reindeers weigh anywhere between 176 to 397 pounds. Wolverines merely weigh about 60 pounds.
It was also reported in the zoo that a wolverine murked a polar bear by latching onto its throat and holding on until it suffocated and became history.
These guys are basically honey badgers on steroids. Think of it this way. Everything a honey badger can do, this guy can do it twice as intense. These animals are primarily considered to be scavengers, and they have a voracious eating style. That's why they were nicknamed glutton.
Wolverines have a beefy relationship with wolves.
Yeah, and wolves are thought to be Wolverine's natural predators, but for them sometimes this doesn't even matter.
If they have to, they will not hesitate in attempting to steal food from wolves or even from bears. And trust me, they're stupid enough to fight over food that don't even belong to them as if it actually belonged to them. And if you're not a foe stronger than it, better let go of the food and get along with your life.
Because this guy will hold a grudge against you for no reason and grant you a boarding pass to heaven. Even if they did have a reason, it would just be too stupid for them to let you know. If Wolverines were the size of bears, they'd be the most powerful predators on the planet. Now I'd advise you to get on your knees and thank God for not making these guys colossal beasts. Well, unless you're a wolf, because I bet this guy would pay to take revenge on every single beer thrown by wolves.
If that's you, buddy, you better go to your refrigerator and hand to it everything you guys away to apologize. I guess. We can't forget about the honey badger's second cousin. Otters have a very cute and cuddly look. For a brief intro about them, they're the only marine animals capable of lifting and turning over rocks, aka boulders. Now you better watch out for them, because you don't want to find yourself in the middle of a rain of boulders, because they can also juggle and throw rocks. Now before I ruin your cuddly relationship with this fluffy looking criminal, I'll just let you know the otters are the most intelligent of the mustelids. They rest together in single sex groups called rafts. This keeps them from drifting away from each other in water. That is pretty smart. Even with this level of smartness, it'll be a crime to say that they don't share the fundamental trait of the mustelids: aggressiveness. Otters are serial killing furry monsters of the water. They have the most brutal way of giving a death sentence to intruders among all mustelids. If you find yourself stumbling across a raft of otters, that might be the last time you're witnessing the glare of light. Otters have no interest in having uninvited guests. They don't want peace, they only see conflict. They don't care if your habitat is water. If they catch you anywhere close, they'll gladly volunteer to put you out of commission. In Brazil, a carcass of a giant otter was found with clear indications of violent assault by other otters, including bites to the snout and genitals. A Victoria veterinarian issued a warning to dog owners after a golden retriever was pulled underwater and mauled by otters. This is how this happened. This Goldie spotted an otter swimming not too far away. Like any other brave or stupid dog, Goldie decided to swim towards the otter to investigate. Little did she know it was a trap. It turns out the otter was not alone. It had two companions that alongside her proceeded to grab the dog and pull her down. Thanks to the dog walker who intervened, the worst didn't happen. This may have had enough landing. This caiman who decided to chill on the wrong side of the street was brutally murdered by a group of giant otters. Same thing happened to this monkey who simply rose roasted the giant otters. They took it personally and rap battled to death in response. The monkey's friend can do nothing but just stay there and watch. Even the ninja of Amazon gets no respect from these gangsters. Jaguars are the ninjas of the big cats. They're also the best swimmers of the big cat, being just in front of the tigers. And if you're from water and you think you have the high ground in water, bear in mind the jaguars won't mind diving and wrestling you in water with almost zero difficulty. So no, better not be cocky when you see a jaguar in your habitat, just because it's your habitat. Pound for pound, they have the strongest bite of all big cats, strong enough to pierce through a caiman skull, which is in the top 5 menu of their diet. Among all cats, jaguars are the only one that crush the prey skull rather than suffocating them like other cats do. But even the assassin of the Amazon knows how to know worth getting in the way of a street gang, because if it does, it's either game over or they just won't let it go without a dirty fight. Next time that you see a raft of otters, bear in mind that they're no business to mess with. You probably know these cute little guys. The guy's famous for taking down monkeys, snakes, rabbits, pretty much everything 10 times its size. So that you know, they're also part of the mustelids. Mustelids sure do have no respect for nature. Giant anteaters are no business to mess with. If a giant anteater stands in this position, I suggest you play along with it because it simply wants to give you a death hug. That's how it shows affection. These claws are powerful enough to turn a jaguar into a pancake. Don't worry, you'll be ramen. These guys are just sloths built for vengeance. This animal sleeps curled up with its bushy tail folded over its body, which is the big problem here. This makes it hard for you to tell which end is the head and which is the tail, and guessing the wrong end is a way for you to book a ticket to the afterlife. Giant anteaters typically attempt to avoid humans, but they can inflict severe wounds with their front claws and have been known to seriously injure or kill humans who corner or threaten them. Between 2010 and 2012, 2 hunters were killed by giant anteaters in Brazil. In both cases, the hunters were agitating and wounding cornered animals, and the attacks appeared to be defensive behaviors. In April 2007, an aggressive anteater at the Florencio Varela Zoo mauled and killed a zookeeper with its front claws. There's another report of a hunter who was fatally attacked by an anteater he was hunting with the help of his dogs and was rescued by his sons, but he eventually succumbed to the injuries. Now, you don't want to go through any similar scenario. Giant anteaters will beat the life out of you, permanently putting you out of commission. Another freak you might want to build a peaceful relationship with is a porcupine. They're not aggressive, but they have no patience to wait and see whatever surprise or gift you have for them. Didn't sound disappointing enough? Then maybe this will. They don't give a I once almost got tenfolded by a porcupine back in my childhood days. Once they're threatened, porcupines will chatter their teeth and produce a chemical odor to warn off predators. If the threat continues, it'll turn its back, raise its quills, and lash with its tail. There you'll have one more possibility added to your future, and you'll have the privilege to be the first human kebab. After all, nature's had enough of having the same animals being turned into kebabs. Here's a brief story of a brave dog, or maybe stupid. I'll go with brave. On September 2nd, a 9-year-old pit bull mix named Chester got into a fight with a porcupine on the deck of his family's home in New Jersey. Later on that day, his family found him with dozens of quills on his face, chest, and stomach which pierced his organs, including his heart. After emergency surgery, Chester seemed to be on the mend but took a downturn a few days later and died. What a tragic story. Yet another secret agent you better think twice before dragging them into your mess. So play cool and you live. See this guy right here? Whatever you think it is, disclaimer, do not touch, chase, or corner them as they will show you how forming an embryo outside of your mother feels like. You are advised to leave them alone or pay the price, cause this creature's bite is painful and contains venom which will not end you but will end your whole fun and probably your money if you're already money phobic. This is called a monitor lizard, and they're not aggressive but do have an intimidating defense technique, and a chill creature walking like a boss and not caring about life is the last thing you want to crave attention from. Like, they'll give not even a single shit to whoever the hell you are, and all that will happen is you end up being this cat's place. I feel like the cat should have been the cameraman here instead. The last animal I put on the list is rather unexpected. Now I know what you're thinking, but you'll get it. Frogs are usually peaceful and try as much as possible avoiding human contact, but when they've had every negative energy life has to offer, they do this as a sign of reminding you who's the boss, and don't worry, cause they have a second and ultimate weapon in case you're stubborn. Wait, I guess they have a third weapon. Well, yeah, you don't want this to get on you. That's one of their defense mechanisms, and it happens when they're so stressed up that you legit scare the pee out of them. Well, now let's get serious about this case. Out of all animals on this list, frogs are the most chilled and are non-aggressive towards humans. Not even by a slim chance, because they will not attack you regardless of their attempts to intimidate you. Just added them as a special bonus to show you how I would react if you didn't subscribe to my channel. So consider doing it now before you leave for more content. And don't let me turn myself into a frog. As you may have noticed, some of the jokes I used are in honor of Casual Geographic channel, because that's where this channel got the inspiration from. So, There we have it. Thanks for watching, and again, don't forget to subscribe.